Good evening, everyone. Good evening and welcome to Millburn Middle School's back to school night for sixth grade. My name is John Conley. I'm the principal here. This is my 8th back to school night as I'm seeing some familiar faces out there that have had children come through. So welcome back to those that have been through this, and welcome to our new families here at Millburn Middle School, and welcome to our school community. I did introduce myself, but I also just want to introduce Miss May Ward, is one of our vice principals, and you'll see her in the hallways tonight. Mrs. Young is over here on the side, and she's standing there purposely to make sure that I get off the stage at 7:25 tonight. If I don't get off, she's going to come up and pull me off. So we'll do our best to get you out to your first period class by 7:30. Just a couple other people that we want to introduce that have a real big impact on our school here. Ms. Christy Young is our director of STEM. She has a district role, but plays a very big part in the middle school. Ms. Jenny Graff is the humanities director, district-wide, also plays a very large role here with the English department, and the social studies department and some of the humanity-related arts. Ms. Una Abrams is our new ELA director. Plays a tremendous role here in the middle school with driving our English curriculum. Miss Leanne Martin will be coming on board at the end of October. She will be replacing Huda Abdel Wahab, who moved on to a new position, and she'll be taking the care of the math for our district. And Mr. Brent McGinnis is our K or 6 to 12 supervisor of special education. If your child has an IEP, he would be a very big contact point here, along with your case manager and the child study team. And then Mr. John Leahy is responsible for the district music. And if your son or daughter is involved in any of the music programs here at the middle school or within the district, he plays a big role with organizing all of that for us. Just a quick announcement about fire. We do have a lot of people in the building. It's going to be crowded today. We have a lot of people that don't know where they're going. Please do be mindful of the exits, particularly here in the auditorium. We've got it over here. I'm doing my little airline thing here. But we got exits over here, and we have exits in the back. So just be mindful if we do have an alarm that goes off. Please do exit the building immediately and move to the front of the building, and we will assemble there and then determine whether or not it's safe to return back in the building. So thank you. Just a quick shout out to an organization here at Millburn Middle School that plays a tremendous role in supporting what we do in the classroom. They supplement everything that we do budgetarily with with the different types of things that we can do in our building that don't come out of the typical operating budget. So the PTO, which is led this year by Heather Kobos and Nina Collier, they are our two co-presidents, and I cannot tell you, if you have not joined the Millburn Middle School PTO, please do so. You'll walk around the building. Their fingerprints are all over this building. Our new library was primarily donated by them and the Ed Foundation. We have a robotics lab that was just redone that was completely donated by them. We had another lab up in the library lab that was re-renovated. They support individual teacher initiatives through mini grants, all sorts of things. They allow us to do the things that we just can't do through the typical operating budget. So we are very fortunate for all that they do for us. So thank you. And they're here tonight to drum up some business. So please support them. Another great organization that does a tremendous amount for Millburn Middle School, and Millburn Middle School has been the beneficiary of a lot of their efforts, is the Ed Foundation. I cannot say enough about this organization either. And in many instances, when we're doing something, it's a partnership between the MEF and the PTO as well. But almost $400,000 has been brought back to the students of Millburn. And some of the big things that we did just recently, we took all of our students last year to Fiddler on the Roof across the street. An amazing opportunity for this school to see 1,200 students approximately walk out on the Old Short Hills Road cross and walk into this beautiful gem of a resource that we have in our community. To see such a spectacular show was amazing. And it was a show that only was for Millburn Middle School. They added the show for us due to the funding that the MEF did for us for that. So great show, really helping to drive a lot of initiatives, and they're unbelievable. And you can support them as soon as this weekend. So if you haven't gone to our Oktoberfest, please do so. It's a great afternoon. Weather's supposed to be great. Come out to Taylor Park and enjoy the music and the fair. And, it's a great way, just a small way to kind of participate in what the MEF does so well and gives back to your students, whether it's in this building or any of the other buildings. Just a little bit about Millburn Middle School guidance. We have 3 guidance counselors here in our building. Ms. Marin will be your child's guidance counselor for their duration through the middle school. She is here tonight. But then we have another guidance counselor for 7th grade, Mrs. Bach. She is going out on leave, so we have a replacement coming in for her at the end of this month. And then we also have Mr. Maeda, who is kind of like our lead guidance counselor. He's here year-round, and he's going to be our 8th grade counselor. Our counselors travel through, as I mentioned, throughout the time that your child is here in the middle school. We also have a school psychologist, Sarah Guiney, who is a gen ed school psychologist, helps all of our students, really deals with a lot of the social emotional concerns that we have here. And then we have our guidance administrator, which is Miss Rachel Petrella, and she's brand new this year, just serving. She's the go-to person when someone's not there. That's the person you would get. She helps organize all transcripts and things like that are in that office. There's lots of information on their guidance webpage, so if you haven't been there, that's a great place just to get familiar with, because there's a lot of great information. So just a little bit about our school. We have in 2024-25, we've got approximately 1,109 students that are here as of today, 392 in the 6th grade class, 371 in the 7th grade class, and 346 in the 8th grade class. We are a large building for sure. We've been as high as 1,250 in my time here, so we're down a little bit, but still very much a large middle school. We make that middle school feel very small by our teaming process, and that is something that we pride ourselves on. So we take that large 1,100 block of students, we break it into 12 teams. There's 4 teams dedicated to each grade level, and each team is broken up into 4 interdisciplinary teachers. So we have a math, English, science, and social studies teacher on that team, and they are assigned to about 90 to 100 students each. We have about 168 faculty members here, so it is a big operation in this building each day. We are a Title I school. What does that mean? It means that we do receive federal funding for certain programs, and we are a school-wide Title I school. So what does that mean? It means that when those federal funds come in, then we are able to use them for all of our students. We are not a targeted school where it only goes to a Title I student or qualifying student. So we're able to apply those funds to everything. So we like when you see our after-school help programs or some of our NJSLA enrichment programs that we offer, those are typically funded through some of our Title I monies. So you did receive an email from me earlier asking you to register for the back to school night. And in there were some acknowledgments along the way that we asked you. There are some documents as being a Title I school that we do ask that you have access to. So if you would kindly just take a look at those and maybe fill out that form. I'll give you an opportunity to do that right here. You can take out your phones, take a quick scan. You can fill it out at your leisure, but this is important for us just for the fact that we are a Title I school. I've also included in there the student parent handbook, which is a document that's fairly lengthy. Mrs. Young likes to say it's some light 70-page reading, but there's a lot of operational stuff in there that we have for you. It really is a one-stop shopping for you to understand policies, procedures, how things work here in the middle school. It's a good document just to have. So one of my favorite parts, and I think one of my most important roles here, is the hiring process. And so I pride myself on trying to make sure that we really bring the very best to our school to deliver the education. And I do think that the hiring process, along with the really good staff that we have here, bringing in some really new new ideas is something that's helped to transform this building. So this year's new teachers are Miss Olivia Correa, who's in the 8th grade English, 7th grade English. Mr. Richard Liang, who's one of our new technology teachers. Hope Miller is one of our new music teachers. Julia Isaac is one of our replacement leave teachers. We have a couple teachers out this year on leave for various different reasons. So she'll be stepping in and filling in 8th grade English. Amanda Nuns, I spoke earlier, she'll be replacing Mrs. Bach as the 7th grade counselor at the end of this month. Allison Zale is our new 6th grade English teacher, or math teacher. So many of you will meet her this evening. And then Rachel Petrella is new to our building as well, coming to us from Springfield. And she is working in the guidance office, supporting the guidance staff. So we've had a really great start to the year. We've had a good first couple of weeks. I think it's been one of the smoother openings that we've had. I guess after 8 years and you're doing this so often, it gets, a little bit more routine. We spent a lot of time this summer talking about new programs, and I'll touch a little bit on that in a couple minutes. We've had a successful transition for your students. I had a great class meeting with them in here when we did the transition day. We've had a great orientation program that we did the first couple of days of school. We're emphasizing this new MMS core values, which I'll talk about momentarily. And we've had some facility upgrades. If you're looking at the floors that you came in here, those were all brand new this summer. The carpeting in this auditorium is brand new. You'll see the painting in the building has been freshened up. So, we're trying to make the place an inviting place for students to learn. And I think all of that equals just a great, successful start to our school year. So we're off to a great start. Some of our building goals, and really they are the district goals, right? So my goals need to align with the district, but we have 3 categories that we're really focusing in on: culture and climate, teaching and learning and assessment, and comprehensive equity. And so our goals are wrapped around these big buckets. So to promote and support a healthy and balanced environment for teaching and learning, that is something that is at the very core of what we're trying to do. We need to ensure that your students have the optimal environment to learn in, and part of that is ensuring that our teachers have the optimal environment to teach in. To promote a collaborative teaching, learning, and assessment environment that inspires creativity, innovation, and differentiation for all learners. We are rolling out the multi-tiered system of support this year as part of one of our initiatives, and that's to really intervene with students that are struggling right away. And that just comes down to good teaching by good teachers, right? Trying to do the things when we see it immediately before allowing them to become bigger issues. And we've done a lot of training all last year, and we're going to continue to roll that out. And it's a tiered process to address situations that come up right away. And then the comprehensive equity, to promote a culture of belongingness, equity, and access for all students by fortifying an inclusive instructional program and environment for learning. And again, there's without a theme here. We do have a very big One Millburn presence in this building. That was something that came out of some issues that we had a bunch of years ago. And now we are embracing the concept of One Millburn. And that's a lot of where this core value work has come out. And there'll be more to come, and we'll be building off of that One Millburn program, not only district-wide, but right here in the middle school where it really originated. So this has been our guiding tenets for the last 8 years. And we believe in these, and they align very much with the district goals that I just reviewed with you. So I just want to kind of really touch on these very briefly, but building a culture and a community for students and parents, right? You are a partner with us here. We need your help to ensure that your students are successful. The engagement of the students is super important. We want to make this a fun place for students to come every day. We want them to learn. We want learning to be fun. We want to put fun back into learning. And that's something that we need to really do. And we do that through the way we engage our students in the different types of activities and whatnot throughout the school day. Assessment is important, right? Assessment for for the right purpose, not just to see if somebody can memorize something, but really for application. And that's the most important thing. We want students to walk away with skills that they can apply to the real world. So we're doing a lot of work with assessment in here and making sure that students are prepared. And then feedback. Look, we need your feedback. A lot of the changes that we have made in this school over the last 8 years have come and been driven by parent feedback. And that is something that we continue to embrace. It doesn't mean we're always going to agree, but the feedback is important and it helps to inform decisions moving forward. So that's part of that. The other part is student feedback, right? Students need the feedback to learn and grow on their assessments. We need them to have constant feedback on how they can get better. And we're making progress towards improving some of that in the way we assess students and whatnot. So it all ties in together. What makes Millburn Middle School a special place? This might be my favorite slide of the year that I do with parents, because these bullets have really kind of they haven't changed in the 8 years that I'm here, and I truly believe this is what makes it a special place. We strive to create that ideal environment. You're hearing that in what I'm saying in some of these other comments that I'm making. We strive to make this larger school feel small. We do that through the teaming process. We do that through all the different intervention programs that we have. We really try to get to know our students. It's hard in a big school like this, but I think our teachers do a really good job. When I go and talk to a teacher about a student, they know those kids inside and out. They know where their weaknesses are. They know where their strengths are, and they know how to motivate them. We have a robust curriculum that we continue to invest in. We continue to put the right people in to deliver. We have talented teaching staff. We emphasize character and development and leadership all the time, the core values that I'll talk about momentarily. We have highly motivated students here. Every student wants to succeed here. We don't have students that don't want to do homework. That's not our typical issue here. And we have a tremendous community. Look at the support here. Look around this room. You haven't had the opportunity to sit like this as a class of parents before. Look how many people are showing up to support their child's education. That's fantastic. Middle school is a time for growth, and we need to remember that. Students are going to make mistakes along the way. This is a safe place for students to make mistakes. That doesn't mean we don't hold them accountable. We will hold them accountable appropriately. This is a place for them to fall. We help them up. We dust them off. And we say, get back on that bicycle. That's important. That's super important because you learn your greatest lessons from the mistakes that you make. If you're only told you're doing everything right all the time, or no one ever corrects you, you're not going to learn anything along the way. And we want them to learn. So we want to correct them. We want to hold them accountable. And it's important for you to hold them accountable too out there. It's also important for you to allow them to fall at time and prevent the urge, and I say this as a parent, prevent the urge from going and swooping in and saving them every time, because they don't learn anything when we save them. We have to allow them to fall and learn from mistakes along the way. So I talked a lot about the core values. I've mentioned them, and now I'm going to get to them. So this is a program that we are, I wouldn't say it's new. We are bringing it back to life, and we put some new emphasis on it this year. So we put a group of teachers together to really kind of refine this a little bit and roll it out. We came up with a new logo. And so it's really wrapped around these core values: integrity, responsibility, respect, caring, courage, and citizenship. Every single student this year had an opportunity to touch these core values on the first couple days of school. Our 6th grade program had a couple days wrapped around almost full lessons in their classes. The 6th, 7th, and 8th graders had smaller touches with these because we've been working with them for some time. We're using this as a common language to speak with our students, and we hope that you'll be using this as a common language to talk to your students at home as well. So we'll be emphasizing this along the way. You'll see it in my weekly newsletter that comes out. we'll be touching on this. We'll be emphasizing this. We'll be adding some programs that are wrapped around these core values. But we're hoping that anytime something happens to a student or we're talking to them, we can reframe the conversation about don't do that again to let's focus on why that might have been wrong, or how we can do that better, or why we don't want to do something like that. And we emphasize that every time. So I'm finding myself, even as I'm talking to students in the cafeteria, trying to incorporate these into positive conversations, as opposed to always saying don't do this or don't do that. And that's something we're really trying to work on this year to kind of help change the environment. Our main goals are, these were the focuses for developing these: to gauge and improve the climate of the building and the community while maintaining a culturally responsive classroom, to provide students, teachers, and community members with the tools, resources, and a foundation that will foster a sense of belonging, to incorporate common language, as I mentioned. What will this look like? We have classroom lessons, conversations. We'll weave it into everyday lessons that we're doing that are not just focused on these, but we're weaving into the content that they're learning. And then students will be asked to reflect on these core values as well. Kind of switching a little bit, we are heading into our first security drill that we'll be having in just a couple of weeks. Every month we're required to do a fire drill and a security drill, as you're aware. You will receive an email from me after we've done it saying that we've conducted a drill. It's just a sample of that. We have 4 drills that we do for the security. It's a building evacuation, a bomb threat, a lockdown, and a shelter in place. So as things happen in their drills, we will always send out an email letting you know that occurred here. For fire drills, we don't do an email. So I'm almost to 1,000 followers. So I'm optimistic with this full auditorium that after 8 years, I'll break 1,000. So take out your phones, add me in, follow me on this X here. But listen, we use Twitter. It's not an information source. It's really a celebration source, right? And it's an opportunity for us to send out something. Many times parents will say to me, my son or daughter did this. And not everything can I put into our morning announcements, but some things I can and some things I can't. So we'll push things out sometimes on this platform as well. Again, it's a fun thing for here at the middle school to be able to kind of share great things that are going on. So if you don't mind following me, that's great. I might get to 1,000. I say that every year. We're optimistic today. But if you do have good things, please share them with me so I can share them out with the community, right? I mean, that's a great thing to be able to share the great things that are going on. And there are so many great things that go on in this community with our students. Just a little bit about yearbook. Yearbook picture days are coming up. This is important for you as you are getting ready to, have your child in our yearbook. So this information is in the morning announcements every day, but just be aware we do it 2 days. It's during phys ed, and it's all depending on when your child has phys ed. So you have to have them, kind of work with you on the days and periods. Okay, I'm doing really well. I got 3 minutes. All right, so tonight we have periods 1 through 8. This is all about you and your opportunity to learn more about the teachers that are in front of your sons and daughters. Each period's about 8 minutes. You have your schedule. If you don't, you should have picked it up down below. If you are somebody that came in late and didn't get one and you're really stuck, we can help you in the main office with those. All band, chorus, and orchestra will take place in this room. Okay? Doesn't matter what the schedules say. Band, chorus, and orchestra will take place here. That is different from music cycle. Okay? That will take place in whatever room that is. We also have all of our phys ed classes and health classes will meet in the upper gym. The upper gym is the hallway that runs right along here. It's right literally behind this room. And then I just ask, resist the urge to ask the teachers personal questions about your child during this evening. This is really about learning about the overall curriculum and not an opportunity to get into the my child's this or my child's that, and save that for that more intimate opportunity with an email or a phone call to the teacher and set up that appointment for them so that you can have that conversation. Just because there are so many people here and that teacher is going to be pulled in many directions. So I just ask you to be mindful of that as you can. Here's the schedule, and look at that. I am right on time. See, I put that timer up there. That's pretty cool. I'm pretty tech savvy. So we have that. This is our bell schedule. We are following an A day, which just means that we're going to have the classes meet in order 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There is no lunch. There is no detention if you skip a class. So, there's certainly, that's the schedule. You're going to have about 5 minutes to get to where you're going to need to go. It's going to be confusing. We do have peer leaders here tonight that are here to help you get there. So with that, I hope you have a great evening. I hope you enjoy. Have a wonderful day. Thank you so much.